Court is back in session for the special review docket scheduled for 9 a.m. on today's date of May 12th, 2022 in County Court at Law Number 2. Our next two cases are cause number 331018 and cause number 331020. Both cases are style of state of Texas versus Gary Wright. Mr. Wright, is that your name, your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wright, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Wright, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wright, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Wright?
How you doing? I'm good.
That's good. Mr. Wright, you're represented in your cases by your attorney, Attorney Marvin Provo, Attorney Provo. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Ms. Provo, do you waive a record in Mr. Wright's cases?
Yes, I do.
State is represented by Attorney Tommy Coleman. Attorney Coleman, how are you doing?
Good job.
Mr. Wright, I have before me in cause number 331020, a document that is titled information. This information alleges that on or about July 13 of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the class A misdemeanor offense of unlawfully carrying a weapon while engaging in criminal activity. Mr. Wright, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Wright, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, Mr. Wright, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wright, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Mr. Wright, on page 2 of this document, there are a set of initials, GW, that are on a line next to a box checked guilty. Mr. Wright, did you put your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, Mr. Wright, there is a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Mr. Wright, did you sign this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, Mr. Wright, there is a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Mr. Wright, did you also sign this document?
Yes, sir.
I have another document before me, Mr. Wright, that is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Mr. Wright, at the bottom of this document, there's also a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Did you also sign this document?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this same document, there are two boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Wright, I also have before me a document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. Mr. Wright, at the bottom of this document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Mr. Wright, did you also sign this document?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Wright, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I have just mentioned, did your attorney, Ms. Provo, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that Ms. Provo went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor. State offer states one.
Any objection? No objection. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Wright, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wright, I will accept your plea of guilty. Well, let's see, Mr. Wright, your attorney, Ms. Provo, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, sir.
Has she provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Provo, you've advised and counseled Mr. Wright. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
Your Honor, in exchange of the defendant's plea to the unlawfully carrying of a weapon case appearing in cause number 331020, the state is agreeing to recommend 60 days confinement in the Jefferson County Jail. That confinement is to run concurrent with the felony case appearing in cause number 1938403. Additionally, we are agreeing to dismiss the companion misdemeanor case appearing in 331018, the dangerous drug case. And lastly, part of our agreement is to forfeit the weapon that was involved in the unlawful carry of a weapon case. And the state's prepared a motion and tendered it to defense counsel.
Okay. And now, Mr. Wright, the state is offering that you serve 60 days in the Jefferson County Jail. You will be given credit for any time that you are entitled to get by law. The court cost in this case, Mr. Wright, is $342. Mr. Wright, will you be able to pay the $342?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Wright, the state is also offering that this case will run concurrent with cause number 19-38403. And the state will dismiss cause number 331018. And you will be forfeiting a weapon in cause number in this case, cause number 331020. I have before me a motion to forfeit the weapon that has been filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. Now, Mr. Wright,
Sir.
did your attorney go over this with you?
Yes, sir.
And now there's not a signature on this document. I think your attorney is requesting permission to sign your name. Does she have your permission to do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, she is signing her name and your name to that document as we speak.
Yes, sir.
Now, is everything in that document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Now, where's the order?
You know, I didn't give you an order, did I, Judge?
No,
I didn't prepare an order.
yeah, okay. Now, Mr. Wright,
I'll
this,
get you.
yeah, the court is, when the court is presented with an order in this case, on this motion to forfeit the weapon, the court is going to sign that order. Do you
Yes, sir.
understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, just let me go back over the state's office. State is offering that you serve 60 days in Jefferson County Jail. You'll be given credit for any time that you're entitled to get by law. The court cost in this case is $342, and you stated to the court that you will be able to pay the court cost of $342. This case will run concurrent with cause number 19-38403, and you will be forfeiting the weapon in this case, and the state will be dismissing cause number 331018. Mr. Wright, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Wright, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Wright, this will conclude your 2 cases. You can follow the bailiff, Mr. Wright, and you have a blessed day.
All right, thank you. You too.
All right, you are.